to episode 13 now. So moving along with the episode. So today we're going to go through ankle mobility, and I'm going to give you an exercise that you can start to work on right now, which is going to give you results in terms of increasing your ankle range. So if you're having trouble keeping your feet flat on the floor while you're squatting, if you're having trouble moving up and down and getting a depth of squat and getting deep in your squat, most of the time you'll find it's either related to ankles or hips. So if it's hips, go back to a previous episode, the couch stretch. If it's ankles, this is one of the exercises that we can do. So ankles are often linked up to the calves. Majority of people will have tight calves, which will restrict their level of ankle range of motion. So they won't be able to move it as far back and as far forward. Dorsiflexion and plantarflexion will be reduced if you have tight calves. So stretching your calves is one. This is another one which is going to help with the ankle more specifically. So what we're going to do, you're going to grab your resistance band. You're going to tie it up to an anchor point. So you can stick it around your rig at the gym or at home if you've got a patio or a pole, stick your resistance band around. And what we're going to do is stick this around the ankle. This is going to help pull the joint apart. So rather than having the band the opposite way, which is going to pull the joint together, we want to try and pull it apart to create a little bit of a gap. Now, what we're going to do now, we're going to get a plate. So you get this is a 15, but you can get something a little bit lighter if you need to start off with to get used to it. So we're going to make sure there's tension on the band to help separate the joint in our ankle to stop it from compressing. Now what we're going to do is we're going to grab the plate, we're going to stick it on top of our knee. Now what we're going to do is we're going to push our knee forward over our toes. Now when we're pushing our knee forward, we want to try and push it over the middle of our foot, okay, to end range. We don't want to be pushing it off to the inside because chances are that's where your knee's been tracking already. So we want to try and create extra range by pushing that knee over the middle of our foot and holding at the end. So there what we can do, we can hold for a minute or two on each side and you'll notice significant difference. Making sure that we're applying pressure right to the end of end range and we're pushing more towards our little toe than we are towards our big toe, so that we can make sure we can utilise that range when we're training. The other thing that's going to improve as well is also your running. So if you're involved in a running sport, the more we can get those running, road racing, motocross, motorsport, anything that we're using our ankles, if we can increase the level of flexion in our ankles, what we're doing is allowing our body to absorb impact a lot better and allowing the rest of our body to move. So for example, if we're riding a motorbike and we're moving backwards and forwards and our foot's constantly, or our ankle's constantly going through different angles, what's going to happen is once it gets to end range, you shift your whole body to compensate. Rather than the ankle bending back, you'll use your whole body to shift your weight. Same for running. If we're running and our ankles aren't as flexible as what they should be, there'll be a lot of this, a lot of stamping, more likely for shin splints, won't run as efficiently. Once we get those ankles working properly, they'll absorb impact a lot better, we'll be able to run a lot faster and a lot less impact on the floor. So improved performance, decreased risk of injury. So give that one a crack and see how you go.